Hello there, I'm Pumpkin, and today I'm starting a no revival run of Hardspace Shipbreaker, and I figured I'd bring you guys along for the ride. So I've already completed this game once in OpenShift, where there's no oxygen drain, you can just take as long as you want. But I figured why not do it a little bit more intense. And since it's going to be 15 minutes for a shift, I figured, hey, that's a great amount of time for a video. So most of this will be fairly uncut. We'll just see how we go, eh? I'm going to leave the tutorial up, at least for the most part and such, so... but I won't always necessarily be reading it, so you might have to pause and read it if you don't know the story. But long story short, we're going to be a shipbreaker. Earth is a dump now, and if you can get up there and you can do a good job, you can make money. Dun dun dun. Food shortages. Right, so we've put out an application. They've said, yeah, you can do this. We're gonna be Pumpkin. That's me. Yep. Yeah. Apparently there's my other account as Pumpkin, etc. Will be this boy. We're gonna go standard. Oh, don't want plastic. And I'd like some. I'd prefer chicken. Nah, plastic free. Yep, we have to agree to all this dodgy crap. Basically says, I will do whatever you say, I will be your slave. We're going to skip training because I've played this once before. And here we go. 0 respawns. 1 life, that's it. This game is sometimes hard not to die. There is radiation, there is fire, there is explosions. There is a lot of deadly stuff. So there we go, off to space, through the debris field. This game has been done really well.
Each day he steps into the yard to earn his wages working hard. I pray to the stars and heaven above to return my daddy to those he loves.
That's a mackerel, that ship.
If there comes a time when he and death meet,
if you don't know, this whole game is about ripping ships apart and salvaging them, and not dying in the process. So we'll see.
Hello, Cutter 9346-52. Your automated Lynx onboarding experience will now begin.
We may end up getting through more than one ship here. Just depends how long it takes us.
Boundless promise, limitless resources, a brighter future. It's here where hard workers like you, the backbone of civilization, will help us pave the way to the galaxy. I'm Calicia Rye Paulson, president of Lynx Corporation's Salvage Division. When my great-great-grandfather Exeter founded Lynx, he foresaw a remarkable opportunity among the stars. His vision eventually brought us the Railgates. Now spanning all the way to Jupiter, these are the veins connecting all of modern civilization. And the people flowing through them are its lifeblood. The railgates reinvigorated humanity and are key to our continued progress. You've been selected from among thousands of candidates to join the Lynx family. This is more than just a job. It's an opportunity
It's
to be
slavery.
part of the largest, most successful,
That's spoiler. Well,
and
not
most
really. You
pioneering
find that out pretty
company
darn quick.
in human history. Your dream may be to forge your own destiny one day. Well, work hard, heed your superiors, believe in the Lynx vision. Do this, and you too will get your chance. Your first step is to join our Ever Work program, the greatest gift we give our employees, turning death into an ongoing opportunity for learning and growth. With Lynx, death is a fresh start.
Okay.
Good luck.
So normally in the game, when you play with the Everwork program, you die, you just get charged and you come back. Whereas we're playing no death, which means yes, we'll have to go
Video
through the
observation
thing,
complete. To
but
finalize onboarding,
we
your
don't get any
genetic sequence
respawns.
will now be
It's
extracted
one death,
for use
hardcore.
with the Lynx EverWork Asset Replacement Program.
still
Don't
gonna,
worry,
of course,
pain levels
take
during
our
extraction are largely
genetics
tolerable.
because, yay.
Please note, as outlined in Section 31 of your employment agreement, the process of genetic extraction will destroy your original body.
We're gonna be a
Beginning
clone.
extraction now.
Yeah, this is, not a pleasant experience, I assume.
Extraction analysis and backup complete. Thank you. Beginning spare generation.
Let's put your brain into a new body. Get our cool HUD built in. Congratulations, you're now a spare, a clone, and we own you. And here is all the charges. Do. I love that they're going to charge you like $1 trillion. Is that $1 trillion? 100 million, billion. So they're going to charge you billions of dollars just to get you to space. So you start, yeah, very much in debt. And what the game is about, surviving long enough to pay it off. Or lead a rebellion or whatever else you end up doing. I won't spoil it for you if we ever get that far. There we go. We wake up on our new
Hello,
bed.
Shipbreaker 9346-52.
Cool. And
Lynx
it's telling
would
us
like
we
to
have a
share
new
the
ship that we're
following
allowed to break
inspirational
apart.
Message. Make the most of your shift by fanning the tiny
And
sparks
basically,
of effort into
they're not
flames
going to
of
let us
profitability.
do advanced ships with high hazard levels
Hey,
and
Carter.
stuff
Welcome
until we
aboard.
get used to it.
The name's Weaver. I'm the foreman for yourself and a couple of other shipbreakers in this region. And welcome to your new home. There's everything you need. This is officially called a ready-made long-term employee habitation something or other. Around here, we just call it your hab.
The hab. Yep.
All right, let's start a new shift and pick your first ship to work on.
So we got the grav cannon, got chill, we got our terminal, which gives us out where we're at. So the other one I finished at level 24, I believe, was where I finished my first run. We start at level 3 because we skipped the tutorial, opposed to starting at basic training. And then we have messages, most of which are just essentially junk mail, tutorial level stuff, telling us about the tools and stuff, but I'll explain that as we go, so save us a bit of time. The kitchen, you can't really do anything except for over time you can change your posters, but you have to obviously unlock them by finding them in ships. The bed, you can change the stuff again, and then later down the line we will upgrade our equipment here. So as you see, it's all at 100% durability, and over time we unlock upgrades, which is Lynx tokens, not money. Everything has to be earned with tokens. Money is what you get for doing successful bits and pieces. Let's start a ship. So currently we have no ship current. If we had done a ship previously, it would be there and we could choose to keep working on it or start a new one. So let's have a look. So we've got a mackerel, all mackerels, but slightly different designs. And you can see here how much weight they have and how much they're worth. So sometimes it's worth going for high value ones, but it really doesn't matter that much. It more matters about down here, getting these points to upgrade your tools, because later on you can get ships worth, opposed to 5 million, they're worth more like 30 million. Okay, hazard level 2. Let's do this one. It's got the dual pods on the back, 2 antennas. Let's begin. So a session is 15 minutes. I'm going to try and get this whole ship done in that time. We'll see how we go though. Ooh.
She's all yours, Cutter. Now try to remember.
So I'm going to try and get close enough.
Carbon goes in the
I
process.
can attach like a grappling hook.
Aluminum goes in the furnace.
Going to pull myself
The
closer.
entire ship if you can. We call it using the whole buffalo.
I'm going to pull those off. They go to the barge.
And start knocking out that debt of yours. Okay. Your primary goal is to get to the next rank. Good luck out there, Cutter.
So you'll notice when I mouse over it, it says barge. That means it goes down. Process is there. Furnace is there. So I pulled off the basic stuff. I'm going to hit T, which will let me have a look inside. Yep, nothing particularly interesting. As you can see, this is already open, which means it's not pressurized. When they're pressurized, that's when you have to be careful, otherwise, you know, explosive decompression. So I'm going to pull out this one, and I'm going to cut this. And I'm going to cut this. And I'm going to cut this boy. Changing orientation with a right click. And then I've successfully unhooked the top. Now these lights I could go and put in the barge, but they're worth almost nothing. So for now, I'm going to take put them in the processor. Later on, I'll be able to charge up that boost. But right now, I just pop them along. And you'll see once they go in, up the top, it says we destroyed the cargo hatch, it's worth a little bit. Destroyed the lights, that was worth a little bit. But for the most part, we were successful. Now that I've opened the top up, let's chuck some of this stuff in the barge. Let's pull that bottom off this thing. Really don't want to hit that fuel. There we go. I'm going to detach the fuel by holding left click. We'll shoot that down into the barge. And then this one is processor.
Salvage secured. Applying credit.
That's all processor 2. You'll notice that we're quite slow moving around. It's mostly because we're at the very beginning. Over time you upgrade your thrusters and stuff.
Salvage secured. Credit.
Let's take this boy off. And then we're going to use a tether this time. Oh, no, I haven't unlocked them. Unfortunate. Tethers you use a lot later on. Basically it creates a point between two spots and then pulls it. You have your own little mini helper. Okay, this will let us into where the thruster should be. But there is no thruster because we're on a low level. And normally we'd have a reactor here too. So eventually we'll get to that. But for now, let's cut this back bit off. Technically I could do it like this. Use the other version and melt it. But it's faster by far to do it this way. You just have to be careful not to cut too many other bits and pieces. Okay, that's all done. Let's take this top panel off. Push you over there. Again, I could take the lights off, but I'm not going to.
Transferring credits.
If you look down the bottom, I'm halfway out of oxygen, and soon I'm going to need to actually think about getting more. Or this might actually be an oxygen. Yeah, oxygen bottle, here we go. We'll just fill that up. Save the mech kits and stuff here for later. So I'm trying to get, at the moment, just get all the bulky stuff out of the way so I can get to the pods and stuff, because they're expensive. I do not want to waste them. Okay, so I've gutted the center of the ship. Some random pasta or something like that. Gonna keep those power-ups for later. We'll pull out this processor. Come on, buddy. Oop, I shot it out the top. I didn't want to do that. Grab a hold of it, right click to drag it in, and then shoot it into there.
Valuable object processed. Credit
Okay.
awarded.
You can see that this back end has come off because I cut all of the components. Now I don't have enough strength for this at the moment, and I don't have any tethers unlocked yet, which is unfortunate. So I'm going to melt this point. Now you use this when you can't risk cutting into things. So I know that back here there is a fuel tank, and I really don't want to cut into it, so I'm going to melt the attachment point. And now it's light enough that I can move it with my main thruster, because it can only carry a certain amount of weight. Let's get beneath it. Give it some speed, make sure it makes it. Okay, next thing's next. So that needs to go in the processor, but this needs to go in the barge. So we'll detach it. Chuck the processor over there. And then attempt to pull this heavy ass fuel canister out. Want that out so I don't destroy it or melt it or whatever else.
Salvage goal cleared.
First goal's achieved, that's good. How much time we got left? 8 minutes 40. You can see that at the very top of the screen. I'm trying to drag this thing out. Now, technically, the reason I keep flicking the screen down is it pushes the direction your mouse is facing. So if you quickly change direction and then click, you can get it to push in a different direction. Okay, it looks like the hard point on this one is on the outside. There it is. So we're going to cut that. And then we're going to chuck the thruster pod down into the barge, where it belongs. Fantastic. We'll get the other thruster pod while we're at it, so we don't forget about it.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Can I get a bit of speed on you? Now let's rip open this carcass. Is there anything else in here I need to worry about is the question.
Salvage deposited. Applying credit to account.
Nothing there. So that panel I need to remember to take off at some point. There doesn't need to be any fuel. Just lights. Okay. Gotta check this. Gonna chuck you to the processor. Oh, I missed. Shoot these boys off. 7 minutes left. So later on I'd just chuck a tether on these and let it pull them all the way in. But I don't have tethers yet, so... Okay, so as you can see the lights are worth like 4,000 each, which is nothing compared to the rest of it. That thing is junk, whoops. And I'm gonna move you into there. I think that'll make it. There is a slight pull around them, so you only have to get them close and it'll pull them the rest of the way. Okay, looks like we've cut this half off, so that's nice. Next thing is the other side. Let's pull ourselves over there. Grab ourselves our first poster. And while we're here, we'll refuel on oxygen and fuel.
Credits transferred.
Okay, is there anything interesting over here? The airlock's here, we'll have to watch it. Don't want to cut it, it's worth a fair bit. Nothing on that top side. Oh. Can't pick those up yet. Later on you're going to pick those ones up. So I'm cutting this. I'm kind of trying to cut the airlock out at the moment as well. So I need to cut you off, and down here, you off. Now let's push this guy out. And the processor is down there. This guy needs to go to the processor too. So, as you can see, I've already cut the airlock separated, so that's not a big deal. We're almost up to the third point. You have to check inside these because sometimes there's electrical panels and stuff. And you do not want to accidentally... Oh, I'm a bit disoriented. Which way is barge? Here it is. Oh, see, I missed the console there. That's not good. Oh well. This thing you pick up later.
At roughly 5 minutes left in this shift.
Yep, 5 minutes. I've gone through 2/3 of it. Let's see if I can finish the rest of this. This might be a bit sort of a push for time though. So this back end is all pretty empty, except there's that console needs to go. It's worth a fair bit. Okay. That's all good, that's all good, that's all good. Okay, now let's try and get this front cockpit separated from the... Now I'd like to be able to pull this aluminium back half, but I don't think I'm going to be able to, because I don't have tethers. Yeah. Okay, the internals are separated. I can now take this outside bit off. Now the glass in the front goes in the furnace, but I haven't got time to separate it. I'm just going to hope it doesn't push me over that limiter. I'm going to rip that out. I don't have the capacity to pull the back half, so I'm going to have to ignore it for the time being. Your furnace. As you can see, I lost a bit of money on the glass. I'm trying to get to stage 4 by the end of this shift, is my objective, because I won't come back to this one. I've already done over half of it. I don't want to waste a full shift if I can help it. Let's chuck that down there. Is there anything else in here to pull out? That one, and then the rest will go into the furnace, and hopefully that'll get me the shift. Yep, that's furnace, isn't it? That panel I should pull off while I have the chance. And then we're gonna push the whole thing down into the furnace. How much time have I got? Not long, 3 minutes. Now I need to be back in my hab by the end of the shift or bad things happen. Meaning, yeah, bad things. Okay, that's done. Yep, we hit level 4. Okay. Now, I don't think I can hit level 5, so I'm just going to pull the last odds and ends and then call it a night. We're going to grab that. I don't think I need it, but may as well grab it. How much we got? O2's getting a bit low, but it's still fine. We're going to cut you in half and you in half. No, I can't cut it in half. Let's melt this then. So, and then we'll melt you, and we'll melt you, and we'll melt you. Nah, we're not going to have time for it, unfortunately. 2 minutes left. Let's grab some speed. So I just left click and then right click to drag myself over. Now, oxygen is going to be refilled, but health, suit, and fuel won't. That said, we've finished our first ship. I would have liked to get all of it, but as you can see at the top, we got 4 stars out of 5, which is pretty good. I forgot the intensity of it. So, as you can see, we destroyed 10% here. We didn't get 6%. But we did get 84%, which is worth a 4 million. So out of the total amount, we lost maybe, what is that, 800,000? And got 4.4. So I would say overall it was quite successful. We can scroll through and see everything that we destroyed. Cargo hatch was not great. Light doesn't really matter. structure, we only killed it like 130 kilos, that's barely anything. Airlock console, that was a big hit, unfortunate. None of that really matters. And then when we collected, so out of that, the biggest things were heaps of this, nanocarbon. Anything else interesting here? Oh yeah, the 2 big pods, they're worth a fair bit. Okay, and you can see because we hit those 3, 1, 2, 3, we go up a rank. And we earned some points to spend, which we will use to unlock tethers. Because I like tethers.
Good morning, Shipbreaker.
So now it's the next morning.
Your theta wave levels are high. Please
So it tells us we're now able to do.
Starting your shift.
So it's telling us to drink caffeine because we're tired, because they refuse to let you get more than 8 hours sleep. And we're now eligible to do higher things, higher hazard levels, which means I think atmosphere and possibly reactors or engines. I'm not sure. And then we unlocked that thing. Now we also have a mackerel, a different type of mackerel we have access to, which is this one. And it gives us a summary of yesterday. So they charge us interest, of course they do. They charge us to live. They charge us for all of our equipment. Eventually you can buy these off them, but even then, they charge us 500,000 just to stay overnight. It's like an American hospital. Yep, telling us we owe the money by the end of the day. Not a problem. So, let's quickly duck into the equipment room before we end this episode, I think. So, have a look at our equipment. I would like to get tethers. Where are you? Modular laser cutter. Nope. Handhold. Tether. So this lets me get 5 tethers, I believe. Which is not a lot, but it is better than nothing. We'll have a look at a laser cutter. Can't unlock anything. Thrusters, can't unlock anything. Helmet, can't unlock anything. Nope, everything is locked. To at least level 11 demo charges. These are fun, but very dangerous. As you can see, our stuff's all deteriorating, mostly my grapple because I used it so much. Eventually I will repair this. I usually wait till they're about between 80 and 70. If they get below, I think it's 70 or 60%, you start being able to use them less. They start falling apart. So, let's have a quick look at our ships and we'll figure out what we're doing for the next episode. I'm probably going to release 3 or 4 of these back to back, but I figured, hey, make it bite-sized chunks. So here we could continue the ship, but we're not going to do that. We're going to go to a hazard level 3 because they're worth an extra $1.5 million. We can also go back to level 2s here, just using my arrow keys. So this one's worth 6.8. Here we'll get repair kits if we get to these last stages, so that's what I'm also looking at. This is the same as the last one, different model. So I think we'll go for a different model even though we don't get the extra repair kit, just because it'll be more interesting. So this is what we'll start on our next episode. I will see you there.